Yo, what's up, what's up? It's the one and only HipHopGamer, Hot 97, Logitech G, NBA 2K League, baby, in the building. Now, I always say NBA 2K League on my intros, but it's an honor, you know what I'm saying? It's an honor to have my brother, my boy, the one and only Black Frank White in the building. What's going on, son? How you feel, B?
Man, it's always an honor to interview with you, talk with you, kick it with you as we walk through this journey of, gaming and just helping the community grow together, man.
Yo, Doe, I appreciate you, man. So, let's jump right into it, son. Yo, season 3 is crazy right now. Like, there's so many things, that's changing and stuff like that. What has been like the initial experience personally for you, like, in terms of like your job and your role in the league? Like, what have you seen that's like been pretty much blowing you away, this season, considering all the stuff that's going on? What's been like the biggest changes, the toughest challenges, but also like, the upside to it all?
Definitely. I think for us, when everything transpired, it was figuring out, hey, first, player safety, making sure the players are safe, making sure our franchises are safe. Then second was, okay, where do we begin? Where do we start, right? We delayed our season as the rest of the world did, just delayed everything because of everything going on. I think we said, hey, let's do something for the community. Let's bring everybody together when everybody is at home and they can't do what they normally do. Let's provide entertainment. So we did the 3v3 throwdown. That was extremely successful. It brought every parent company of the NBA together, which is the W and the G League, to play with our players, and it was a great experience. You participated in it.
Yeah.
You, DNA, Hakeem Williams, and that was amazing. I think that was our first step, is figuring out, hey, how can we provide entertainment when there is no entertainment on a sports level? So we did that, and then the next level for us was just figuring out how do we start a season remotely, and we've done that successfully, and I'm super excited about the growth. I think we've learned a lot about how we can maneuver in the future.
Got you. Now, one thing I just want to make a statement and commend y'all on. See, like, there's a lot of people in various industries, like, they're good. They're really good at what they do, but there's a difference between being good and being great. And a lot of times when you're tested and you got to make adjustments, that's what's going to determine whether you're really great at what you do or not, no matter what happens around you. And I'm just happy to say that you guys is great. I love y'all. I love being a part of this. Like, it's just an honor, man. So I just want to, salute to all of y'all, man. Shout out to you, Brandon, Colleen, like, everybody, the whole team, man. Like, much love to all of y'all. So now here's one of the like questions that I had just overall, because I want people like the fans to understand like what it takes to do, a lot of these things. So when y'all talk about growth, I see y'all on ESPN now. I'm seeing all these deals, all these things like growing and stuff like that. What's some of the things that y'all are still looking to do to remain, that growth, like to continue that growth, to happen? And what do you need from us? Like, like the fans, like, what can we do to help y'all grow even more?
Well, I mean, for the fans, it's real simple. Just support the league, engage with us on social media, watch our streams that are on Twitch, YouTube, ESPN2, ESPN app. We're also on Sportsnet in Canada, and we're part of we're also on the Egg Network, that's Southeast Asia. So I think, to answer your first part of your question, I think for us, it's international expansion. And we've already started that process with Gen G, the Gen G Tigers of Shanghai. And I think we're just going to continue with that. I think, Adam Silver said it in year one. International growth is what's going to be the great part of this league. Being able to have teams from all over the globe and have them participate and be a part of the NBA brand is going to be amazing. And I think that's the next level for us, is just continuing with our international growth and expansion and making the world a fan of the 2K League.
God, all right, cool, perfect, man. So, who's the best player in the 2K League right now, son, in your opinion? Like, this is a fan question. You know what I'm saying? It's a fan question, bro. Who's the best player in 2K League right now, son?
I mean, I'm going to have to go with Kenny. He's the front runner for MVP. Kenny from Raptors Uprising GC. They're 12-0. They just clinched his playoff spot last week. They're the top dogs. He's the top dog. It's interesting because he's someone that had to transition from playing shooting guard, small forward to PG. And this is one of those things where playing on the retail build helped him grow. He went for legend in 2K20 at point guard. That helped him, groomed him to prepare himself for the grind of playing point guard in the league. So it's one of those things it's a perfect marriage.
Okay, so now here's my next question to follow up with that. Now, I know, last season, Bear the Beast, was the MVP and he's going crazy and stuff like that. Do you think that they would potentially meet, like, like in the finals or like something like that? Because Kenny got work, is putting in that work, son. He going
exactly.
in, but as well as I like Kenny, I always like Bear the Beast as well. So in your opinion, looking at their play styles, who you think comes out on top, man?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, Bear the Beast, Finals MVP, high IQ PG, knows the game in and out. But I gotta go right now this year. I gotta give it to Kenny. He's playing on a different level. A lot of our PGs are doing what we call rim running, which is just dribble driving and trying to get baskets and cause contact at the lane. Kenny's is called 3-point hunting. He's out there trying to get 3 points every time he comes down the court. And as you know, hip-hop, 2K or any basketball game or basketball period, 3 is always better than 2.
Yeah, facts. Yo, so you get me hyped, so I love talking to you. All right, cool. So now, very important question, man. I know y'all had big plans. Y'all got the studio in Manhattan now. Like, y'all had big plans to like do this big launch. Yo, I was ready, son. And then everything happened. Do y'all also have like a phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 rollout plan to eventually get us, back in the studio, even if it has to be a social distancing way? But do y'all have like some sort of plan that y'all figuring out to, get us back in person so we could cheer, the players on, in person?
I think right now and for the foreseeable future, safety is always first. So we have remote gameplay that we're doing right now. We just extended the remote gameplay. So I think for us, the studio can only be an option if safety's first. And safety right now is social distancing and we're wearing your mask and following all the safety guidelines that, that's in the world. So is it a possibility? We don't know. Right now, it's about safety first and pushing that forward. So as long as we keep our players safe and our franchises safe, which is the best way right now, which is remote gameplay, I think that's the win, right?
Okay, I bet. So now there's going to be a major transition going into the next generation with the with the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X, and like even the new PC graphic cards that's coming out as well. So my question to you is, we know what 2K is like now, but there is going to be a big shift. I know Mike Wang and all of them was pretty much saying that the next generation game is going to be a completely different game. It's not based off the the same physics and the same feel of where we at right now on the current gen. So how do y'all prepare? Like, what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it. The 2KLeague started with this, generation. So y'all never like what I'm saying? The league never transferred to another game yet. Like, on that level in terms of the next generation. How do you prepare for that as a league? And how do the players prepare for that change and feel of game?
I think for us, when it comes to that, it's just doing what we normally do, which is have active conversations with our partner 2K and figure out what's the best way to integrate the league build, which is a separate build, with next gen graphics, right? Because just talking to some people that I know in the tech industry, and the ability of the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, where there's going to be literally no pixelation, like that's beyond stuff that we never even thought of growing up. Like pixels just part of life, right? You just had to deal with it. You try to get the best monitor, the best HDMI cable, or best component cables to try to limit your pixelation. But I think sky's is the limit. I think we'll learn more as we get more information from both of those entities, Sony's and Xbox. But I think that the league build and 2K will have some tremendous stuff for next gen.
Gotcha. Yo, I can't wait, bro. That's gonna be insane.
You gotta tell me which one you getting, man. Which one you getting, or you getting both?
Oh, Well, I mean, you know me, I'm getting both, son. I'm a gamer.
I
Like, you know,
think
I'm
sure,
you know,
you're a real gamer. I'm getting both.
you
So
know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're a real gamer, you get both. I'm getting everything. You know what I'm saying? But you know, PS5 is the lead dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the lead dog for me. But you know,
let
I
me
will
ask you
have
this.
everything.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
All right,
Do
go
you
ahead.
think PS5 is the lead because it always prices out cheaper than Xbox?
No, I think PlayStation 5 is the lead because they got better development talent and they got better exclusives, and I think their features are better. Like, for example, right now, right? Let's say I got 2K, right? And you don't got 2K. We can still play together even if you don't got the game because there's a
True.
feature with the PlayStation called Share
Wait,
Play.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
definitely.
so you don't even have to have the game. You don't gotta download it or nothing. I can virtually hand you over my controller. We're both playing from my system as if you sit next to me in the couch, but you're not there. You understand what I'm saying?
And that's
Like,
an amazing feature. Yeah.
that's an amazing feature. I don't know why Sony don't promote it as much as they should, but I'm just saying, when you know, I'm a gamer, so when I break down all of these factors, nah, bro, PlayStation is definitely ahead. And it's kind of like this. Like, if you look at Golden State Warriors in 2016 when they went against Cleveland and Cleveland won, on paper, Golden State Warriors was the better team. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at like the Xbox, like Series X that's coming up now, on paper, it seems like it's the most powerful console. But who won? Like, you know what I'm saying? So when you look at Xbox One X that we have now, and you look at PS4 Pro, on paper, Xbox One X is more powerful than PS4 Pro. But there's a reason why PlayStation got like 120 million sold and Xbox is just hitting 50 million. Like, you know what I'm saying? They have better developer talent, in my opinion, and that's what makes it different. It's like you can have all of this, but I got LeBron. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's it. We get that dub. You know, so that's my analogy when it comes to that. But good question though. So now let me ask you this, right? Uh, when y'all doing these you know, remote you know, game tournaments and stuff like that, like the 3v3 that y'all did, we want more of that. I'm being honest with you. We want more of that. So have y'all thought about having that 3v3 thing something like on more of a regular basis as opposed to something that just leads into the season? And also, there's a lot of people that I spoke to personally that's like, yo, like, when is 2K doing this, or when is 2K doing that? Like, we need more tournaments, we need more cash matches, we need more this, we need more that. Like, the successful results of that 3v3, like, is there things that y'all talking about behind the scenes to have more of those things happening throughout the year, not just seasonal?
It's one of my big initiatives coming into the role is more community involvement. And I think the first step in that was 3v3. There's always going to be a conversation to actively get our fans to be a part of the league. And I think for 2K and for the NBA 2K League, being part of the league is being able to participate in events, being able to compete for, like you said, cash prizes and things of that nature. So is it an ongoing conversation? Of course. The more that we can get our fans involved in what we're doing, the better we are as a community.
Okay, I bet, because like that needs to happen, bro. Like, I know some like high profile artists that personally told me like, yo, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's dope, but that was it. And then, like, you know, like I want some more of that. So I had to ask that question, you know what I'm saying? So, and we gonna talk more off camera. So I'll give you
Yeah,
extra
definitely,
details.
definitely.
Yeah, extra details on who and what's happening. Like, you know what I mean? So that's that. So now another thing I wanted to talk to y'all about is you know, like recently I spoke with a lot of the students that I talk to and like teach gaming to. We also had like that Black Lives Matter discussion and, like, you know, the community relations and race relations and things of that nature. One thing about the 2K League is that, like, y'all went out all the way out and got people from China. Like y'all trying to bring everybody together. I love that. But also, like, what's been like the stance community wise, like certain initiatives that y'all trying to do in the midst of all the stuff that's going on with Black Lives Matter, whatever. Like, what's been some of the things that y'all trying to do to take a stand, but also bring people together, even outside of the 2K League, just within the culture of sports, period?
I think for us, it started with, Blackout Tuesday, right? We had a
Gotcha.
conversation as a group, and we every eight for 8 seconds at the end of every beginning of every commercial break, We blacked out our screen. We put Blacked Out Tuesday because we wanted to show our support to the movement. Now, what's happened after that? Like, I've canceled BFW Live in support of the movement just to show that we're all together, solidarity. This is,
Yeah.
Something that Johnson said that's a very common phrase, but it fits perfectly. He said, all lives do matter, but we can't have that until Black lives matter. And I think, the 2K League has definitely shown, and the NBA, the larger NBA, has shown the support for the movement and understands where we're at today in terms of where we have to go. Equality for everyone. And that's all everybody wants.
Yeah, that simple. It's very, very simple. And like sometimes it goes over people's heads for whatever reason, but it's very simple. And I love that you said that, bro. So now let's get back to it, man. I want to ask you this, right? What's personally for you from a fan standpoint, but also I think this will help the league. But what are your thoughts on like what do you want to see in terms of like features or changes and everything to NBA 2K21? One of the things that I hear a lot is we want some parks. Like when I mean parks, like when you go in the park in like regular 2K current gen and I'm talking about like regular play now, like blacktop and stuff like that. There's only one park. Remember before we could go to Rucker Park, you know what I'm saying? It was in Dykeman, West Fort, like we use all these places. We can't do that no more. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And everybody has like hashtag blame Ronnie, for everything. But you can't just blame Ronnie. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ronnie, but you can't just blame Ronnie. What's some of the things that you would personally like to see that you think would help just 2K go forward into the next gen? I think that's one of them. But what's some of the things that you want to see, gameplay, detail wise, all of that?
Me, I think is what you said, right? The community kind of speaks about more diversity in the neighborhood in terms of more neighborhoods. I would love to see that. I think that'd be a cool feature. I think, similar to Rockstar games where, the GTA, where you can go into different neighborhoods and play basketball, that would be amazing. I do think that's the evolution of the neighborhood. I think it will become that. It will be a living, breathing thing. You already can go to stores, you can get a haircut, you can get tattoos. I do see it evolving to more of a GTA style where you'll be able to just even take a car and drive it to another neighborhood. Or right now, you can take the subway to another neighborhood within the game, but even make it more, dynamic. What else is there? I'm trying to think. Is there anything else that I would love to see? I would love to see, and then this is me, just a fan of 2K. I would love to see cross-platform. I would love to see it able to play on PlayStation and also PC and Xbox play together. You see how it's benefited Fortnite. You see how it's benefited Call of Duty. Yeah. Like I would love to see it. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. I don't know. This is me as the casual fan. I would love to see it. I think it's something that community's been asking for. I think we would love to have it if it's possible.
Got you. So now another thing that I was thinking about, hopefully you can answer this, but will we see like NBA 2K League like branding or jerseys or something like that inside the like NBA 2K game, like seeing that cross and stuff like that? Because for example, you talked about you getting your sneakers and do all these other things and getting jerseys, walk around the park with it. It'd be dope if I could walk around with a Nets gaming, like, you know what I'm saying, hoodie or something like that from the 2K League though, inside NBA 2K. Do you think that's something like that's inevitable, like to happen, where we'll see that collision, that relationship build within the game like that?
We already have had that happen. The end of season 1 going into season 2, 2K did a drop where they had every franchise's jersey and shorts available with hats and headbands. So we already seen it. It's been successful. Do I see 2K doing it again? Yeah, of course. I think, it's just about us figuring out the cadence and the timing, but it's already happened. It's already been successful. So yeah, of course. We would love to see that again.
All right, cool. Now I gotta ask you this, right? So if BFW was able to choose your like your squad, you know what I'm saying, for the 2K League, like what coach would you want to battle or something like that? You know what I'm saying? So we got BFW and your squad against, a coach and, whatever their squad is. Who would you want to battle? Like, who do you think, like, you know what, they don't want no smoke with you? You know what I'm saying? What's up? Talk to me.
Well, you know, my original dream was to be a head coach or a general manager for a franchise in the 2K League. If I had to pick one person that had to battle across from me, it would have to be my brother, 2K Comp Games head coach of Jazz Gaming, just because, you know, we have opposite thought patterns on how to coach and how to be great with a team. And he's had tremendous success this season. His second place in the league. They're 9-1. I would love to compete against him because I know that it'll be a challenge to stop him in his thoughts, because he is the opposite of me, which is great. Like, I want someone that can make me think, make me work, and have to really push myself. So I would love to go against 2K Comp Games head coach of the Jazz Gaming.
I got you. Now, next question is, we had you saw the Jada Kiss in a Fabulous battle, versus battle. In your opinion, who you think won that battle? And two, will we get like versus battles, but in the 2K League, where you'll have like Bear the Beast 1-on-1 versus Kenny Got Work, and like, you know, whoever wins, like, you know, you get like a special cash prize for your team, or you get like something special for your team, but it's more personal because it's 1-on-1. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, that's a tremendous idea. I love that. I love our players going 1-on-1 against each other for cash prizes. I would love to see something like that. It's something I'll definitely bring up with the team. With the verses, that was tough because everybody thought Fabulous was going to just destroy Jadakiss, but Jadakiss played it very strategic and he won it. Think about this, right? Once the battle was over, they were playing like 4 minutes of records apiece, and then Fab left so many hits on the table. So it's like, wow, Fab, like, why you left these hits on the table? Why you didn't put them in the battle? But Kiss was very strategic. He kept it in his pocket, freestyle, streets, and Fab has those records, but Fab played records that some people was like, they had to ask themselves, like, have you ever heard this record? And you never would think you would say that about a Fab record, right?
Yeah. And
the thing about it, I don't think I heard anything from Soul Tape. I don't think I heard anything from Summertime Shootout. So I was like, I'm expecting him to come with Soul Tape, because that was like, that's my series. I think that's the best mixtape series in the last 10 years. And when he didn't come with anything from Soul Tape, I was like, wow, like, so bro. I mean, I think I thought about it, he realized the next time he goes into one of those verses, he's gonna come more prepared.
Bro, I'm 100,000% with you. I don't know what happened, bro. Like, I can't. I'm like, I remember all the Clue tapes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything. I'm like, yes. What are you doing?
Exactly.
Because there was a point in time, we know how Fab is, you know his style, but he could go there too. Like, he got the bars on that level. Like, oh well, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I think that
he's one of the most consistent rappers we've had in the last 10 years. I feel like, in terms of just consistently making great projects. So
yeah, facts, man. So the verses with the 2K League, I think that would be insane. I really do. I think that would be insane. So now, a couple more questions and we'll wrap it up. Do y'all have a program, whether it's internship or something, where like people that's like really hardcore fans of the league can potentially work their way up to potentially having a job, like, you know, with the 2K League? Do y'all have anything in place? And I'm asking because with my gaming and guidance program too, like, there's kids that's like looking, like they hungry, they trying to figure out ways they could do this and be a part of it, because they would play it all the time. It could be 2K, it could be Roblox, it don't matter. They trying to find their way, you know, like in the space. Do y'all have anything that y'all planning to do or to offer that could potentially be some sort of internship where they could be groomed into becoming a part of the league?
Well, the larger group, the NBA has an internship program that we pick interns from every year. That's one. Two, we do shadowing. So a great example is Matt Arden, head of broadcast. He brought in a high school student to shadow him for the day, and we sat down and spoke with him individually about his goals and dreams. And that's something I plan on doing also, is bringing, once we get back to, you know, a non-pandemic world, is bringing people in, having the opportunity to sit down, talk to the head of broadcast, talk to the head of social, talk to me, the community ambassador, and just get an understanding of what it takes to succeed and to get to this role. So we definitely, we're constantly doing those things, but we're definitely going to up it up another level.
All right, cool, perfect.
Back to normal.
All right, perfect, man. And yo, you already know, man. Whatever it is you need, sir, I'm there. I got you,
But
sir. Like for
definitely,
real. Like
definitely.
I'm mad excited about this. And so I got two more questions. Then I'll let you go, man. So this next question is, it deals more with learning the actual like game, of basketball. So it's like there's a lot of people when they play 2K, like especially me. I mainly play now and stuff like that. The 2K League build, I know that's something completely different. Have y'all thought about potentially having like betas of the actual 2K League build that people that's inspiring to get to the league, they would have access to practice on. I think that is one major thing that's missing. Where it's like, for example, for those that's trying to make it to the league that didn't get drafted, but we know who was in that pool, they get like a beta, of the actual 2K League build, so they can continuously practice on that. So when the draft comes around next time, potentially they would have more eyes on them or more attention on them. I know y'all have y'all program now, but I think if they got a chance to really practice on what they're gonna be actually playing on professionally in the league, would be better than just practicing on what everybody else is playing on like a regular retail build. What are your thoughts on that? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I just want to throw that out there because I don't think anybody ever asked you that question.
It's a tremendous thing. I think we do that now. I'm sure you've seen with the times you come to the studio, the league build is there for people to play on to get an understanding of how hard it is, how difficult it is. I do think the next level of that is, like you said, possibly giving out beta codes, hey, to certain organizations and teams and saying, hey, this is what we play on, learn it, understand it, because as we have to develop the thing about 2K League, we have to develop our amateur scene more, right? There is an amateur scene, but there isn't a roadmap to becoming a professional outside of the combine, right? And what I mean by that is when you play basketball, right, you have basketball camps, you have basketball teams from like fifth grade on, right, or seventh grade on, right?
Right.
We don't have that yet, The only thing you have is if you love retail, you pick it up and you buy it and you play it for years. We do need to develop that scene where we have the amateur scene, where we have high school athletes playing the league build and esports facilities and things of that nature, which is the next level. I just think that it has to be the right group and the right timing. But that's one of my also personal initiatives, getting the league build into collegiate sports and also high school athletics.
All right, perfect, bro. I'm glad you said that because like these is like questions that was like posed to me, and I'm like, I'm not, I'm not an employee, like what I'm saying, with the 2K League, but like it's a partnership, and we have a great relationship, and but I don't have all the answers, like what I'm saying. So you know how it is if somebody asks you something and you can't really provide no type of answer, yet you
have the right
repping it, like what I'm saying. So this is my opportunity to do so, and I ain't gonna front, man. A lot of people feel like it's kind of unfair because it's like I'm playing on this and I'm nice in this, but since there is differences here and I feel like I deserve to be drafted, but I don't make it, well, let me play on what I need to play on so I can really show you what I can do with what y'all do. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like if you have a basketball player trying to make it to the NBA, but you got me playing against these people, not against these types of people that's being looked at to go to the NBA, then I'm going to look great here, but I don't really know how I stack up here. So it's like I'm always overlooked no matter what I do because there's not a framework in place for me to shine the best way I can. And I think that's what they're saying.
And the current framework does allow you to showcase your skills. Is it a little difficult? Yes. They have WR, they have MPBA, they have Militia League. There's a lot of amateur leagues that you can showcase your talent against the top players in the world, which are in our league. The thing is, there is a process to get in there, right?
Right.
It's not just you get to play with them overnight. You have to sign up, you have to spend your money, you have to build a team. That takes a lot of time. People don't know it takes a lot of time to find 5 to 8 people who have the same mindset of going professional, who want to put the time and effort and money into becoming a professional. So we have to provide I think as a league, other avenues, or at least to prepare you for combine
Okay.
out of what is there available now.
See,
So
now
yes,
I like that.
there is a current structure that allows for it, but it's tough to break through.
Got you. Now, I like that. I like that. Anything that could provide the best preparation. You know what I'm saying? I think that's fair. So, and the last question is this, and I gotta go back to it. But especially with the upcoming 2K21, there's still a lot of women like out there that feel like, yo, what's up? Like what's going on?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
so we're in season 3 right now in the league, but obviously, we're gonna be moving to season 4. We're gonna have the next generation game and everything like that. What's out of the 3 years, out of all these seasons that y'all been building the league up and stuff like that, what's like some of the biggest things that y'all learned or biggest requests or biggest initiatives that y'all been doing, like in reference to the women specifically, to get them more involved, to get to make sure there's a platform for them to show their skills, and no one is being alienated or ostracized, out. You know what I'm saying? Can you talk to that in terms of the women getting into the league?
Yeah, right. So this past draft, we had 4 women make the pool, make it all the way to the end to be eligible to be drafted on draft night, and none of them was drafted. And that hurt me. Women in gaming is an initiative I take extremely seriously. It's one of my things that I take personally. So when a woman didn't get drafted on draft night, I was hurt. I was disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. I sat there in my corner. Everybody was celebrating the draft and how successful the draft was, because it was. But I was like, well, to me, we took a step back because we didn't have a woman get drafted.
Right.
And I think for us, it's just now figuring out what more we can do to help that process, right? I think, the 2K community towards women has been pretty toxic. I mean, to say the least. It's gotten better throughout the years because we've been pushing for equality and on that front, and it's helped. I think for us, we just have to start looking at where we can improve our process to get more women to be in the league. And it starts with the women, that we have to make them feel comfortable, want to be part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think sometimes organizations lose that. They don't realize that in order for there to be women in gaming, they have to feel comfortable enough and feel safe enough to be a part of the process. So,
Right now, absolutely, man. So look, bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, the idea that we spoke about earlier with the verses, what I would love to do, I would love to have it set up, and I'm talking about like this is something that could be like actually done, like right after the this season is over or something. But the women that was drafted, I mean not drafted, but like in the draft pool, I would love to have one of those women do a versus against Kenny Got Work, do a versus against Bear the Beast. Take your top people in the league, and go head on against them and just see what's up, just to see where it go. And the reason why, because I think something like that is bold, and it's like a put your money where your mouth is type of energy, and let's go. And I think that's where you get the best out of people, when they potentially feel like they got something to lose. You know what I'm saying? And I think that right there would be really dope. We can talk about that. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about was, I never understood how substitutions work, like when it comes to the 2K League, because it's like like if unless you get suspended, you know what I'm saying, or like maybe you hurt your finger or something, nobody gets substituted. And in my mind, I'm like, I know fatigue got to be on in the game, right? Don't they get tired? Like, how does substitution work? Because when there's a lot of times where when Shakita had got drafted, she didn't play much. But in my mind, I'm like, isn't fatigue on? If I'm playing a regular retail version, I got to sub after like 3 minutes because they get down to 70 energy. So what's happening with that? I never understood that, and I think people want to know why that is, because we see the same people all the time, but yet there's 6 people on a team or something. Like, what's going on with that? And that'll be the last question.
fatigue is definitely in the league build, probably more so than retail, because there's no Gatorade, there's no skill boost in terms of that. None of that exists in the league build. So I'll give you a great example. Like this season, if you watched a lot of the game, you've seen a lot of point guards just come up the court tweening. They like, they're crossing it over a lot. They're doing what they call the Pro 8 glitch. That's because that saves stamina. So by the time I get to half court as a PG, I'm the leading scorer. I'm the focal point of offense on most teams. I've saved my energy enough when I can do my moves on the pick and roll to get either to the basket or get someone open for a basket. So that's what. So they're pros. They're the best in the world. So the reason why you don't see them get tired as much is because they're doing little things that they know in the game to conserve energy in spots.
Okay.
In the future, yes, you'll see more in-game substitutions, but I think that'll happen once we get back to a non-pandemic world. We're in the studio.
Right.
As of right now, you can still substitute. So let's say game 1 of a series goes bad, I lose. I can substitute my 6-man in for game 2 and game 3. So,
Okay.
and a lot of teams have done that. So there is substitution. There's ways you can substitute. What you saw last year in studio, it was difficult because in terms of being able to substitute in a game, because that's just something that we haven't thought of yet, essentially.
Okay.
But it's there. You can do it. It's an ability that we have now. But it's something that I think will be more reserved for the studio.
Okay, and I know I said the last question about a lot again. All right, this is gonna be the last one for real, son. For real, so I don't get a chance to talk to you like this all the time. Things be popping in my head, you know what I'm saying? So, and shout out to Colleen, you know what I'm saying? Because I know she like, okay, I know he said, all right, cool. All right, look, all right. So here's another thing I was gonna say, right? For the next generation, when you was breaking down things that you wanted to see, like in the next 2K21 game, just from a fan standpoint, here's something that I want to see. I don't think, and I could be wrong, but playing the game so much, I feel that I'm right. I don't think fatigue should be a general thing across the board in terms of how it works for players. I think fatigue should work according to that individual. I'll give you an example. If I'm Russell Westbrook, my joint should be at 100 for at least a whole quarter. You know what I'm saying? Because the way he, you know what I'm saying? Because the way he plays with such high intense energy, he don't get tired like that. So, but when I'm playing 2K, after 3 minutes, everybody got a 20 to 25% drop in fatigue. Everybody, no matter who you are. It's kind of like a general thing. And I'm like, that's not real. There's certain players that could play at a high level, high intensity, high energy for a longer period of time, depending on how you play. Or if you're taking it slow with Westbrook, then his energy level should still remain at a high level based on how you use him, because you know what his capabilities are. I think that right there will be a definite game changer, because when you talk about substituting in matchups and things like that, if Russell Westbrook has this high energy, then I need to play him different. I need to make him work harder for his buckets. That means I'm going to do different things to get that energy down. That's a new strategy based off one player because of fatigue being differently handled in game. I think that right there will make a big difference on how you play people in the game. What's your thoughts on that? And I'll leave it at that.
That already exists to a certain degree. So if I'm playing a game, I'm playing you, and I have Russell Westbrook, and I'm pounding turbo, I'm going to lose energy faster if I don't pound it. So I think the way, is it even in a sense? Yes, I think you're saying you should be if I'm Russell Westbrook, it should be a little bit higher than if I'm James Harden. But
that's what I mean.
The reason why it's based on your usage of turbo, right? So it's how much you use turbo is how fast your stamina goes. So Russell Westbrook's stamina, if you look at the players' individual stats, is probably higher than Harden's. So what that means is it will take longer for Russell Westbrook to get tired. But if I'm pounding the turbo more on Russell Westbrook than I am on Harden, then yes, it will go down faster, if that makes any sense. No, so it does exist. It's just the way you control it is by your use of the turbo.
Okay, all right. I'm going to double check this stuff because, I play this a lot. You know what I'm saying?
And look at this stuff. You'll see Russell Westbrook's stamina is different than a Harden's versus a Clint Capella's versus LeBron James. It is different. It's just how you use the turbo that determines how fast it goes down. So if everybody's equally going down at the same time, just means that, which is a good thing. That means you're equally using the turbo on all your players correctly. You know what I mean? So you're not you rather your team get tied all at once versus separately, because then you gotta. I mean, it depends. It's all strategy, right?
Yeah, I got you.
If you like to
So,
sub out 5 at a time, or you like to do 1 or 2 subs, it just depends on your strategy.
all right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play like a quarter, and I'm not gonna use turbo at all with Russell Westbrook just to test it, and then I'm gonna play the same thing and use turbo a lot and test it and see how it drops, because it just feels like so off in my opinion based on how that works. But yo,
try it out.
Other than that, man, I love you, bro. This is incredible, man, what y'all doing, man. Seriously, man.
Thank you.
Keep it going. Can't wait to see, I think the Raptors may go all the way. You know what I'm saying? The way they looking. I think they may go all the way. So I'm excited to see, what's going to happen with that. But other than that, man, keep doing a great job, son. You know what I'm saying? Love you, bro. Is there anybody you want to shout out before we get out of here?
For always, showing love to the 2K League and always being available to us to just like do interviews like this and talk about the product and help the league grow. So I'm super appreciative to you and everybody at Hot 97 and just, and all the endeavors that you do. Hopefully we can work together with some gaming and guidance stuff. I love that work that you're doing in that space too. So salute to you, man. Salute to Redden for me too. She's out there killing it. Salute to you guys, man. Thank you.
Yo, much love, man. One love and God bless. You already know what it is, man. The NBA 2K League on your Hot 97 every day. That's my word. And we out of here, baby. Peace.